So, this is the seat cell.
Yeah.
That's fine. And then it was, this was what,
engine receiving bay this is.
Right, engine receiving bay. Right.
And this next one is the old axle receiving bay.
Right, axle receiving
Yeah.
bay is coming up under this canopy.
Yeah. And this is the old south gate, you know.
Right, just stop here then. That's a GEC walking back. Right, we're looking back down the West Road. And if we just pan over, we'll see now where Portick Avenue is. And in front of that was the old South Gate. Panning round is the area for...
On the left and right, which Mr. Gates used to hang on.
Right, well, that's the
So
pillars.
the hinges there, look, on this one here.
Yes, right. And then that was dealer training, was it, over?
Yeah, dealer train over there.
Yes. And that road carried on to the social club.
Mm.
Right. So, we'll just pan round again. That was the carpool area.
Then you've got
And
the
down the
SVO,
side.
SVO work offices. Then the back of the gate got the GC block, which used to be the old drawing office.
Yes. Excellent. Right. We're now with our back to the GEC lock, and that is the old maintenance department. And we're panning round to the back of the body shop and phosphating plant onto the end, and there we have the main laboratory, quite the new building. Right. Okay. Still on the South Road. I'm looking down now the East Road with the corner there of the laboratory. And for completion, we'll just go around and have a look into the distance. Right, we're now looking at the dispatch of some cars, and if we pan round we'll see the purchasing department, and if we carry on, it's a chain link fence, and you'll be able to see through the chain link fence. Put some zoom on. Is the end of the GEC block. I'm going to take dispatch from the other side now of this purchasing department. Right, the old GEC lock, and when we pan round we come to purchasing, and we took the photograph of purchasing from the other side. Keep panning round, and that's the exit for the new vehicles on the car transporters, and all this now was dispatch area, and a large area, as we've seen, for the cars behind the dispatch. If we pan round again, we'll find the old experimental block, and if you remember, we had the doors, visual doors there. So now we're going to move on to the new buildings in the background. I'll just the end of the experimental. Right, we have sampled layout. Finished vehicle assessment pre-production. And vehicle assessment department emissions unit. Right, here we are at the old, or the service department. Service and service reception. You'll find this setup. And then on to the veneer machining centre on this right hand side of the road. We'll go further up and have a look at the boiler house in a second. Right, I've got my back to the service department, and we can see that there is the apex roof and if I pan round, I'll just quickly pan round, and on the service department on the corner there, the service department on the corner, and if we run up, we'll find that it's powered at build plant track 7. Right, got my back to the service department. That was the old stack shop. This is the boiler house. You can see the stacks on the top there. Boiler house, Lower East Road. Busy putting fencing in. This is on the East Road. We've got the new fire station, the old fire station, and now we're coming on to the maintenance department. And on to the end. Right, just have a look in the maintenance department through their roller shutter door. This is a quick pan round of the interior of the maintenance department. You can see the radial drill there, and you'd have other machine tools, and on top are the offices. Right, and that's it. And on to the outside. Right. Graham's kindly going down. The oof, can I hold it steady? The test track, which is on the South Road, no, the North Road.
Years ago, he's a
So it's going down.
Down the West Road, in the West Road.
No, this is the East Road, isn't it?
East Road.
Yeah. Oh, well, we're coming up to.
Back of the fire station.
Yeah.
In front we have service workshops.
Yeah. The old boiler house on the right.
On the left is the new veneer shop and storage.
And that was the forklift truck.
Internal transport maintenance depot.
Right.
Old road test area on your left. Road test service workshops on the left. On the right we're just passing the old SVO shop and the laboratory. And in front we have the GC block.
And here we are, back down to purchase on
Purchasing
the right and dispatch
on the right. Now just going back up the old East Road to the main entrance, to the North Gate. Old scrapyard on the left. Next building on the left is the Education and Business Partnership Centre. That's the new gatehouse there.
This
Education
is,
Business section there. One.
yes. We took that yesterday.
And next on the left hand side is the old pallet stores.
Ah, yes. That's it, pallet stores.
Can you make another one dish when you've done that?
Oh, I'm going to make, yeah, you can have what you want.
Okay, yeah.
No problems. No problems.
Back to the old North Gate entrance. Lights on red, which we proceed carefully and make sure there's nothing coming, just go into form. Oh, he's gone now. There, white's in a bit more.
Wow, we've seen a bit more.
Well, she is in that building. And you got the back of the old stores. All this there.
Oh, that.
Which used to be the old, well, then used to be the paint shop years ago. And you've got the main pump house on your right, which supplied all the water to the sprinklers in the factory. Maybe down the east road, the west road.
That's right.
Yeah, if you want to be in the factory, I'll go and see Phil Stewart
Right.
before you go in.
Yeah.
Just tell him you got a hard hat and all that. Just tell him where you'd like to be. May get in at the old actual receiving bay. That big door's open there.
Yes. And here we are, back at the museum. Right. Here we are on the East Road, looking at the fire station. And we pan down, we go to the end of the service department there, and over to salvage and the scrapyard. We'll just have a look inside that scrapyard. See the skips for the scrap steel. In my back to the scrapyard and salvage. That's the apexed door. And plant test support department. So that's from the scrapyard. We pan further round. We come to the old boiler house. There's a gantry which will take all the heat over into the main building behind me. There's the stacks. Carry on, and where the car's parked is the medical centre. This from circa 1953. We have all the valve gear, the steam, and in back all the pipe work. And the flues going up into the roof. And we can just see the beginning of the boiler. These are the main boilers. There's two on this side. Coming around. Onto the side. You can see the boiler with the burners and big fan motors. onto the floor. We've got our back to the boiler house and the medical centre. We have finished vehicle audit and customer perception. And that was Hydropole's department. And in the end, you can see from the boiler house, perhaps going across to the main assembly hall. There we are, from the medical centre, with the finished vehicle audit customer perception behind us, and across to the forklift truck maintenance department. And it was a charging area. With SVO in the background. This is looking into the forklift area, the charging and the maintenance of the forklifts. Right, we look down from fork maintenance. Through to special vehicle operations. And on to what was the tyre store. And on the end is the main laboratory, and the other side of the south road is the GEC block. We're just recording in the interior of the tyre stores. Obviously quite a lot of junk being put in here. Right, here we are. We've come onto the Lower East Road, GEC block and South Road in the background. Main laboratory. Panning round to the back of the tyre stores. And the next building will be the SVO unit. I'm now facing the other way, that is with the GEC block to my right, the tyre stores directly behind me, and we have this building on the before us which was road test. And ahead of us is the veneer machining centre on the left, with the old buildings on the right. We've walked to the other end of that road with the old tyre stores in front of us and the veneer machining centre number 2 all the way down this side. If we pan round, we can see this new building. Here we are. Welcome to VMC2 construction operations. Deliveries here for glues, metal and substrates. Well, glues, metals and metal substrates. Gone back to the original end with the tyre stores behind me, and back to the old building which was used as the trim shop. And we might be able to see if we zoom. Jag Plus, which would be the plastics department. Okay, we're still on the Lower East Road. We've gone to the next road off. So we have SVO on the right, what was vehicle road test, and now we're going where the vehicles are washed and up to the new sawmills. So I've walked up this road a little bit, still where they did the car washing. Jaguar Spares packing department. As you can see, on towards the air extraction for the sawmills. I walked to the other end of that road, so the far end of here is SVO. End of the building. Come back. See the big shop, the veneer shop. And over the door is Vehicle Manufacturing Centre Construction Operations. So I go and stand in front of that roller shutter door. development centre. Panning round. Right. Then we're back to the roller shutter door VMC centre. Going round. Veneer development. We'll pan all the way to the end, which is the back of Track 7 pilot demo. Looking back up to where I was filming with the VMC centre in the background and the veneer development section, and coming on to PVT. And then from there it will be the back of the pilot build. On the other side of me, it's going to be difficult to see, is a car park. And if we carried on to that car park, we go out onto the road, which goes into, I think it's the east road to the gatehouse. Okay, here we are. More at East Road. After the medical centre. And on to the boiler house. With the scrap salvage at the end. I've actually got my back to the medical centre now, so you can see the machining centre, number 3. To service department again on the end. Come back to this crossroads with the salvage and scrap centre ahead of us. I understand where the fences, that green fences, you'll be able to drop a wagon underneath there and fill up this swarf. So we're looking up the hill again where that apex roof is, and the new fire station on the right. We carry on round after the new and the old fire station. There will be the maintenance building, and if we swung round back onto the end of the service department. We'll be looking up towards Pilot Build plant and what's known as a high bay on the right hand side. We've walked up the road and we're looking at the Pilot Build plant, track 7. Their reception. And over into a dead end, which would be Veneer Machining Centre number 3, the rear of. We're looking at the high bay, and if we pan round, we'll go at the big building in the background is the coloured body store. To the right at the back, which we can't see, will be the pallet store, and we can see the back of the education centre. And if we look up the road there, we could go behind the Pilot Build. And you can see the corner of the Pilot Build plant in view now. We're looking into the first part of the coloured body store. What I'll do is walk backwards in a second. Right, we've just been in that doorway. And that's the main colour body store. And working round the other way would be the pallet store. Gone round to the other side of the colour body store. I'm going to see if we can get in. Oh look, that's where all the bodies were stacked. You can see in the distance there's a bridge where the bodies were called off and went into the main assembly plant. I'm standing with my back towards the door where the wagons came in, delivering the bodies from Castlederwick. And there's the maintenance department ahead, and then this is going to be the rear of the Veneer Machining Centre number 1. There's the bridge where the bodies went across the main assembly hall. And at the very end is like a corrugated iron lean-to, which was part of the wood shop. I'm going to walk to that end now. Right, we have the back of Veneer Machining Centre number 1. And it looks like the dispatch area for the seats perhaps. On to the end, which is the corrugated area which used to belong to the wood shop. And back over to the goods stores. Just pan round, offices, and then that main place which is the goods receiving. I'll take the zoom off. We've got the covered way to the car park. The visitors' car park will be straight ahead, and then on the right, which is a green area, will be the gatehouse, the North Gatehouse, main gatehouse. Right, we've come in through the west road. I'll take the outside in a minute, but this was the old polishing shop. Right, this is opposite the polishing shop, and it was the cadmium plating. Oh, the CAD welding shop. Okay. Right, I've come into the main assembly, and this was originally where the plating shop was. So we'd have the large plating vats. Above we'd have petrol tank assembly and test. Running round, you can see a lift. And then we go to, in the far distance would be the wall, the original wall, which was an end wall and separated the two buildings. And upstairs was where they had fitters who did rectification on doors, radiator grills, anything really which was plated or was brass and plated. Right, immediately in front of us was where they welded up the exhaust pipes with silencers for the cars. And in the background we can see, and I'll zoom in, you can still see the carriages which used to house the cars as they went down the assembly line. Right.
Next Gen 40 and that coming.
looking towards the south road, and this was the petrol tank manufacturing area, and it was in use until certainly Series 3 and XJ40. We're looking back towards the covered area. And that was the polishing shop. And the CAD place. And then on to the end. And the south road. Right, we're down in what was an air raid shelter, which is just under the GEC building. Right, that was the original entrance to the air raid shelter. Pan round. That was the main entrance to the GEC block. Right, this is another air raid shelter, and I'll pan back a bit and show you. Right, just let me fade out. Right, round about there. If we come back, we can see that that entrance was by the Jaguar Training Centre, the dealer training. Okay, here we are, covered way on the West Road. Crossed over the road and looking at what was the chemical store area for the plating shop, such as the cadmium and the chromium plating. And if we run and pan down the way, we'll get back to the covered way. Right, I'm stood by the covered way. That was the antifreeze. will do is look to go through this roller shutter door. So, mezzanine floor above us, protect the workforce from anything being dropped from above. And we can see at the bottom, rather out of focus, but the original wall area. Right, we're inside the covered area where wagons would be unloaded, and there's an area for the wagon drivers to sit whilst their wagon is being attended to, and it's right by the exit to the covered way. I'll pan round. We'll use the forklift to perhaps unload the wagon, and I'm looking now away from the GEC South Road towards the North Road. I shall walk a bit further up. We're about halfway into the covered area. Right, we've walked out of the covered way, the telephone kiosk, and looking towards the North Road. You can see the new building, then the old building with the Northern Light lights, and when we come here you can see a apex roof. This of course used to be an open road, and the two buildings were separated at this point. Just pan a little bit further and you'll see we'll be going into the covered way again. That's that one. And if we walk forward a bit, we can see that, the right hand side. just going back again onto that original wall. Right, here we are back at the area of the clock with the old service department on the left. Panning round. Northern lit roof with the apex there where the roll was put in. A covered way. Telephone kiosk. Bank. And then this area is where the petrol pumps were. I'll zoom into that area a little bit. It's been taken away now for many years. If we go further round, there's the gate in front of us and the museum on the left hand side. Trying to focus a bit. And in the background will be the housing at the end and the Browns Lane side gates. The end of the new building. Running round to what was the telephone exchange. And I think we can see, hopefully, an area there which still has the camouflage paint on. Go right round. We're now looking up to the North Road. If we came back, we'd end up at the clock. Right, I'm stood now really in the middle of the tunnel. My back is to the old wall. There's a ramp going up. Just debris, which is all about this place now. And onto a second ramp, and you can see the exit of the tunnel in the far distance. I'm in the tunnel, just come in from the West Road, and there's still the plant where the cars went through for soak test. Pan round. I don't think we can quite get far enough, but there would have been the area where the cars finally came off the line. Works better with the lens cap off. We've just come in via the clock entrance, and we are looking towards the North Road. So cars will come down the assembly line on our right, and will be ready to be driven off at the end. And we're looking towards that original wall again. This area is where they used to test every percentage of the cars, and there's still one ready for testing on the test rig. And also an area for training development. Right, walk down a bit further towards the south road. The line in front is the line which is returning with cars which have been more fully completed, and they would have gone down the line just further over, and at that time they wouldn't have received the engine transmission system. This is where the body's turned round and the engine and transmission met the bodies. They would come down the far side, go around the end there, and then come back up this track. I've spun round 180 degrees and I'm looking out onto the west road. Yes, this is where the engines and chassis, engines and transmission were no, I think this is where they met. I think this is the stuff up where they met the body themselves. I've walked out of the building and under a small cover. It's really virtually at the end of the block, and that's where you can see the corner for the south road. I'm looking from out of the roller shutter door, just across. This looks the area where the hook or the lifting eyes for the engines from Bridgend were stored before being returned to that factory. The end there is that road I've seen before.
can't hear this recording, can you? Can you? How do you know when it's recording?
Because it has recording on the top.
Can't you play back?
It has standby.
Oh yeah.
You press the red button.
Yeah, from there you can go right down there. Yes, that's a good one. So what I can do, I can show the start at the end. Right, I'm recording.
Okay then.
Off you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carry on right to the end.
Yeah. Then go faster if you want. Right. Yes.
And then I'll drive out and try and pan you up the length of the rest of it.
Yes.
I'll keep over to the right. Fade out now.
Right, faded.
Your end to the right and do the same down the other side.
Okay.
So if you can film to the left,
Yes.
and I'm going to start off now.
Yes.
Right? We're taking the time.
What we're going to do is do this way and then do them the other way.
Right.
On the side.
Stop now.
Straight out.
Then we're going to turn around and go back with it.
Yeah.
The other way, so we can turn the other side of the building.
Right. Right. I'm happy filming now.
This can go right from as close as you can get here, because this is all the old on your left here.
Yeah,
Right.
Can you pick up this corner?
Yes.
Can you manage to pick up? Well, it doesn't matter about the roof if you can. We do those northern lights really from further away, because you've got to be able to see a load of it.
I'll get as far over to the right as I can.
Right.
Okay, we'll
Yes.
start now.
I'm happy.
You just need to be on the wider angle of the road.
Yeah. Fade out now. Back in.
I'm going as far as I can.
Yeah.
And if you can just film down the side there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
So stop now then.
There we go.
Because they twisted it.
Yeah, I know you're twisted.
Yeah.
That's the trouble. Your body's twisted. I know that's what happens to your leg. I don't know how you do that a little bit.
The things we do for
You
Britain.
need to go and have a look at that now.
Yes.
And make sure that this is the right. But if it is, it's a good thing to do. Just drive the whole thing round.
Yeah.
And the most off-putting thing about an arrow course in a way as well is the fact that not being covered, it's amazing how, you know, you lose a bit of sort of proportion as to where you are, don't you?
Yes.
You mean it's black and white?
Yeah.
The viewfinder's black and white.
Oh, of
Things-
course. Yes.
Yeah, you really have to look at it. I began to get into it. At first, with my glasses, I couldn't pick out whether I was bloody recording or what I was doing. Took me a while to get to.
No, I don't think we can get. I think everything we can get in this shot would be
It's
better from up there.
Definitely. Got all that roof line. It's really,
Yeah.
From up there, it's good.
As I say, I think the only thing I'd like is to park this down by the clock.
Well, we'll do that now.
Well, we'd have to film from up there, of course.
Oh, I see what
And
you
then
mean.
we've got the
Yes.
distance of where we were.
Well, I think the nice thing to do now would be to take a shot from inside here of the frontage of the service
Yes.
department.
Yeah. But you also need all this area on the left because that's where all the petrol pumps,
Yeah.
all the original petrol pumps and things were here.
But you can get a shot there, look,
Right.
of the service.
Have another go.
Nothing in front of me, is there, honey?
No. We can get into the factory. Go in there.
Well, yeah, you know, it's difficult to see through this viewfinder how much perspective you're actually going to get when you.
So this here was the break point between a mounting pre-mount assembly and mounting assembly. The cars came down the pre-mount track here, or the two tracks side by side, one there and one there, and then they were lifted up on a conveyor, and the conveyor took them round this corner, and the mounting track was about where that green thing is, and ran all the way down to the end. Well, not quite to the end, almost to the end. And they came off the end of the mountain track into road test, which was right at the far end, where we looked. So we had two mountain tracks, two mountain tracks, two mountain tracks. This was all body shop. Trim shop was there, and the machine shop was all behind. That's why it would have been nice to have found a study of original windows over all that sort of thing.
No, his office was.
This is just the
Oh.
staff superintendent, foreman.
Teddy Orr's office was up there when he was works manager.
That's the manager.
The whole side and zoomed in from the bottom.
Yeah, I'm recording now.
You've still got cars in there, haven't you?
Always metal area back in the very top.
Yeah. The metal that the JCB.
These were dispatch officers, weren't
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
they? And what they were scheduled.
Yeah, I'm just about okay. I'll fade it out.
Well, track scheduling and that used to be done as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. Tell you what I'd like to do, if we can do it now, is go around to the old experimental number 1 and see if we can... Fred? No, Fred.
No. Darn, it's on standby. How am I managed that? Alright, I'm happy. Right. I've got the whole of the building height in. Yeah.
Just keep it going.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy it's still rolling. Are you going down here?
What's that for south west? I can't see it. Is it what? I can't see any other buildings. All the mountains. I don't know if it's on it.
There's roadie plays of some sort.
I said presume it was a good tin, right?
It's good tin, which it's got a
You want to film here?
what the education.
Right, it's stopped somewhere where we really go, is it? That's nice.
I'll just pull forward further.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Mass exodus they used to be.
Yeah, you got three, two or three cars now, and a guy on his bike.
In hundreds of them. Not prison buses.
Yeah.
You can get a shot of the museum as well. Can you pan round and
Yeah,
bring the museum
yeah.
in?
That'd be a good idea.
Presumably these offices are empty now.
No, I believe that Delamere guy or whatever has got the middle one, and he has got the bills. That Delamere guy, I believe. Let's go and do the Jaguar, do the doors, shall we, with the Jaguar head in the... Oh, fuck. Still recording, man.
This is the corridor just above the first flight of stairs. We're walking towards the front of the building. And this office is the one directly above the zebra crossing, so it's in the middle of the GEC building. I suggest that this is one of the original doors. And the doors and the handles are this lozenge shape. We're looking from the west road end of the GEC building, and this is just one large room. Areas of petitioning. It's another shot from the GEC roof. Bring this zoom off a bit. That was the trim shop. And old experimental. Panning over to dispatch. And in the background, the area where the cars were stored prior to shipment. And there we have the purchasing department. I'm standing halfway up the main staircase, and as we pan round, we have the lift, and I don't know how much of this is going to come out, but there's the stairs leading to the first floor. Now I'm standing with my back to the front door. We have the ceiling, of course, there. If I walk round and pan towards the front door, see a pillar, front door, and a second pillar. This is the outside of the GEC block. And when we pan round, you can see that was where the air raid shelter was. And in front of us is the Sports and Social Club. Right, East Road, and we're at the maintenance department. Panning round, colour body store in the background, and the East Road. We find the old offices there, water cabin, and what was the experimental. Pipe across the way, and the bridge for the car bodies to go into the main assembly hall. I fade out, and I'm going to stand in front of this doorway. I believe that was the original experimental. Pan down. And I'm going to stand in front now of this second doorway. You can see there's a side door. And if we pan down a little bit further, there's another door. Let's go down to there. right on the end is the green corrugated sort of lean-to. We'll go to there and walk past and then look towards the tunnel area. Right, from the main gatehouse, panning down the Lower East Road, colour body store in the background, this green lean-to, we're looking up the East Road and we're focusing on the entrance to the tunnel, just by the steps. I'll fade out and go over to there. We're still looking at those steps which will go up above where the bodies are, and we can see the entrance to the tunnel. There we are, all the way through. If we look down towards the South Road, that was a covered area where forklift trucks were parked. And if we just walk up to that area, this is just looking generally under that sheltered area. Right, just going northwards on the East Road. We'll slow down, and this is where the tunnel is. The area where cars are stored in lanes. Looking down the Lower East Road with the bridge for the car bodies. Going up towards the North Gate, the main gate. Good receiving there. is the area where articulated wagons normally drop their trailers. The test track is on the right. This area was laned for finished cars. And ahead of us is the telephone exchange offices, and this is the other end of the tunnel, which marked the end of the original building. There's the rifle range on the end. Okay. We'll drive from the clock and you can see the main gate in the background. Right, we've just entered the museum. There's the early Swallow cars, moving on to SS cars of the airline there, and later cars still. In front is the 1988 Le Mans winning car. ALC.